Now, General Secretary of the South African Council of Churches, Rev Mzwandile Molo, joins us for their reaction. Good evening, Reverend. Thank you very much for joining us on the program. Now, you've added your voice to those expressing great disappointment at Pastor Timothy Omotoso's acquittal. You've issued a statement. Just take us through your sentiments.
Thank you very much, and greetings to you and to the viewers. Indeed, the South African Council of Churches has expressed its own sadness in the verdict that was issued in the Gqeberha by the judge. Our sadness is more deeply located in the view that what the judge has expressed to us is not a matter of the innocence of the Pastor Omotoso. It reflects a serious delegation of duty on the prosecuting authorities who are supposed to do the basic things that are needed to be done so that those who are accused of serious crimes like this are held to account. And when we get to a judgment as scathing as this is from the judge, we are deeply saddened by that delegation of duty.
And this seems to be the sentiment of many that have criticized the NPA for their handling of this case, that just judging by that judgment, it clearly cannot be stated that the accused are innocent in this respect, but it's just the improper handling of the case by the prosecution in this respect. So what do you believe needs to happen here? Because we know that the ministry has now requested a comprehensive report on what exactly went wrong.
What we believe needs to be done as part of the journey moving forward, firstly, as society, we need to salute the courage of these young women who were able to start scrutiny, withstanding a lot of cross-examination from those who are defending, rightfully so, the one accused as part of their work. And we must salute them and give them an ear and a sense of belief to say, we as society take their allegations seriously, and where society know that they sought to tell the truth. Secondly, we need to say we agree that with the minister that a comprehensive public account needs to be given to society, not only the minister, but to society itself by the NPA, into understanding how is it such a serious allegation is prosecuted in this amateurish, if not dereliction of duty, by those who are supposed to protect us and society against those who might abuse us in society. That public accounting must be done so that we as the public know what went wrong and where it went wrong.
Now, some are of the view that it might be very easy to point fingers at some of these prosecutors, but that broadly here we probably have to now revisit the conversation around the significant underfunding of the NPA, that here, if you've got inexperienced prosecutors coming in, if honestly these were just innocent mistakes of individuals that were not all too familiar with cases as complex as this one, that in this case, if there is an underfunding issue that needs to be had, is it perhaps maybe where we should be looking, not necessarily pointing fingers at these ones, to say if you're going to recruit experienced prosecutors, if you're going to bring in legal practitioners that can handle cases of this magnitude, we need to be willing to pay the amount because we're losing them to the private sector?
That the underfunding of the NPA is a long-standing problem for the country. You will remember, even with the serious economic crimes work, there's been a complaint that the NPA has not been well funded. That is something that we as society must continue to work for and agitate for. But that does not excuse this amateurish and dereliction of duty that has been pointed to us by the judge. We must find an answer to say what has happened here. The problem is, if we allow this kind of work to continue like this, we are discouraging many women who risk a lot in their own spending, a lot of their livelihoods, a lot of their own commitment, with their own lifestyles, to stand up for this and tell the truth. If we do not hold those people accountable, even in this case, we are sending a wrong message to society.
Now, as a body overseeing churches, one can only imagine how such a case has seriously tarnished and compromised the religious space, compelling perhaps men and women of God to now work overtime to assure many that such incidents are not the norm in churches.
This incident reflects how some of us who call ourselves men and women of God are predators who enter the religious space to take advantage of many vulnerable people, and we call ourselves people who reflect God. That is not the truth. It is ungodly to look at young women, young children, and exploit them for sexual gratification by men who claim to be representing God. That is un-Christ-like. That Jesus Christ we believe in is the one who says, "Bring children unto me," for we would like everybody to know that those who enter God's kingdom must be like children. Children are special to the faith, and those who abuse people's faith as a way to access whatever exploitative intents they have are not representing God, not representing the church. We as the church must stand up and say, this cannot be done in the name of the faith. The faith of Christ is against any abuse of any person, let alone young children and young people.
Reverend, thank you very much for your time this evening. That's South African Council of Churches, Reverend Mzwandile Molo, speaking to us.